Hello, distinction students. This is your tutor, Miss Zulu. Welcome to today's conversation where we're going to look at large-scale retailers. But before I get into that, remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more sessions. Okay. So firstly, how can we define large-scale retailers? Okay, so when we're talking about large-scale retailers, they are also known as big box retailers. Okay, so these are businesses that sell a wide range of products in. I can talk about large quantities, often at maybe lower prices. Okay, than these small retailers. Okay, so when we're talking about these large-scale retailers, they buy goods in bulk direct from the manufacturers, and then that's like at a factory price. Okay, so they buy those goods at a factory price, and then they come and sell them in large quantities at a lower price. Okay, so when we're talking about these large scale retailers, mostly they deal with using self service methods to minimize staff needs. Okay, so we are going to look at different types of, or rather the people that are included in this large scale retail. So when we're talking about this large scale retail, we are talking about people that are dealing with supermarkets, multiple stores, variety chain stores. We're talking about department stores, mail order stores. We're talking about cooperative retail societies, and also hypermarkets. Okay, so let us go in detail about these types of retailers. Okay, we're going to start with the supermarket. All right. So when you're talking about a supermarket is a self-service retail shop with a large selling space and deal mostly in groceries and general household goods. So you can also define supermarket as a large-scale store that offers a wide variety of food, household products. So when we talk about supermarkets, we've been to supermarkets, right? So these people deal with fresh products, they deal with beverages, and so on and so forth. Okay. So they provide customer with additional customer service, such as, so when you go to supermarkets, right, they have car parks, they have restaurants, they have filling station. Okay, so supermarkets use loss leaders in attracting customer into the shops. So what do we mean by loss leaders? So when you're talking about a loss leader, these are goods sold below cost price, okay, in order to attract customers into their shops. So remember, when we're talking about these supermarkets, or rather when we're talking about large scale retailers, these people buy goods in bulk and then they sell them at larger quantities at a very cheap price. Okay, so when we're talking about they belong to a large scale chain, okay, these supermarkets. So let us look at some of the advantages of a supermarket. Okay, they can buy goods in bulk direct from the producer at factory price. Okay, so meaning these people buy more like at a wholesale price. They buy these goods in bulk and then they sell them at a smaller price in their retail shops, right? Or rather a cheaper price. Okay, so supermarkets are located in town centers where many potential customers congregate. Okay, so we're talking about, if we look at most supermarkets, they are mostly in places like town centers. Okay, so supermarkets are able to undertake the function of a wholesaler. How? Because you know that wholesalers are people that buy goods in bulk from the manufacturer or from the producers, right? So the people that run supermarkets also function as a wholesale. How? Those people buy very large or bulk goods from the manufacturers at a factory price. Okay. Customers have more time to browse and choose goods in supermarkets. How? We know how an arrangement of a supermarket is. They have shelves. You know, to say, when I go to this shelf, I'll find household goods. In this other shelf, I'll find probably fresh foods. In this other one, I'll find beverages. So it's very easy. It makes life easier because, you know, when I go to this row, I'll find this particular good. And when I go this side, I'll find this particular goods, right? So customers have quicker services since they are they service themselves. How? When you go to a supermarket, you know where every product is found, so it's easier for you to move around and get those things on your own, right? Now let us look at the disadvantages of supermarkets. Okay, So due to customer traffic in supermarkets, theft is a common problem. Okay, so people end up stealing. Why? Because people are doing self-service, and some people will just move around and just end up stealing because there's like a lot of people in the supermarket, so everyone is busy moving around. Okay, then shop sites in town centers are very expensive. Okay, so most people that have supermarkets want to place it in a busy environment, right? In town centers where people can see it, people can go and buy. Okay, because it's a busy place. But at the end of the day, those shops are very expensive. Okay, and then remember, these people are selling these things as cheap as they can, but they're paying very expensive rent, right? Goods are damaged or made dirty as customers browse them. Okay, so when you go to supermarkets where you have to check on your own, you find people trying on shoes, and maybe they could be white shoes, they end up making them dirty, or maybe, they touch those things that are on the display, they end up getting damaged or dirty, right? So self-service and attractive display of goods lead to overspending by customers through impulse buying. When we're talking about impulse buying, we're talking about going out of the budget. Maybe you say you left home going to buy a particular household good, but you end up buying things that were not on your budget, right? Okay. Then credit facilities are not usually offered in supermarkets. So you can't go to a supermarket and get something on credit. No, it's cash and carry. Okay. Let us look at multiple store. Okay, so when we're talking about a multiple store, this is a retail shop that sells one or several lines of goods with not less than 10 shops in a town or all over the country under single ownership, mostly by limited companies. So when we're talking about multiple stores, we're talking about a company with different branches of the same shop. So an example I would give of Hungry Lion, would give of Butter Shoe Company. I would give an example of Zambeef, there's Pep, and so on and so forth. There are quite a lot. Okay, so when we're talking about multiple stores, these ones are the branch managers are not allowed to buy. The branch managers are allowed to buy goods locally. So multiple stores may sell one type of good. So like butter, we know butter is about shoes, right? To say when you go to any butter outlet, you're going to find shoes basically. So multiple stores may manufacture their own goods. So most of the butter, we know that, okay, when you look at a shoe, you know that this shoe was manufactured by butter. It's a butter shoe. Okay, meaning those people are the ones that are manufacturing that particular product. So when we're talking about multiple store, it is also known as multiple store e-commerce. When you're talking about e-commerce, we're talking about things that deal with online selling platforms, right? So you find most of these stores also deal with online selling. Okay, so we're talking about, for example, you find maybe Pep or Butter is advertising a certain type of a shoe, and you find in other outlets it's not there. So you get to order online from another store. It could be from another town or within the particular town in a different maybe location. Then you can just order it from online and they'll deliver it, or you go and pick it up. Okay, let us look at the advantages of multiple stores. So they can buy goods in bulk from the manufacturer at factory price. Okay, staff and goods can be transferred from one branch to another. So we're talking about, we've had so many situations where maybe you go to Prep in Cairo, and then you find certain staff that were working there have been transferred maybe to another store in Chachacha Road, right? So those people can be interchanged even to a different town. Okay, and then also goods as well. You can find they are distributed at this particular branch, and then afterwards they'll be distributed to other branches. So you can find, to go to another outlet and find the product is not in that outlet, it's in a different outlet, right? They can manufacture and sell their own brands. Okay, shop assistants assist customers when buying goods. So we've seen so many situations where when you go to a shop, you find, especially maybe I'll talk about China shops and maybe any other shops, you find those stuff like following you around, trying to show you and tell you how those products work best, and so on and so forth. So money branch guarantee is offered if a customer is not satisfied with goods bought. So this is a situation where we find most shops have guarantee, to say maybe when you buy this pressing iron, for example, you have a guarantee of 2 years, meaning if something happens in those years that you've been given, you can return it. Or maybe you buy a product and you find it's expired or probably not fresh, you can still return it back and they give you the money. Okay. Let us look at the disadvantages of multiple stores. So the stores become difficult to manage well when branches increase in number. So a situation where there are a lot of these stores, right, and then the management becomes less effective because they're dealing with a lot of customers, there are a lot of branches, and then there are a lot of disputes and so on and so forth. Customers travel long distances to and from town centers to exchange unsuitable goods. So a situation where you get goods and then you find out, because you know how some goods are in a package, right? You don't open them, and then you reach home, you open them, you find they're damaged or something, meaning you're supposed to go back to the branch where you picked it from to go and get it changed. Okay. So branch managers cannot put forward their own policies because multiple stores have centralized policy making. So meaning, for example, Hungry Lion has their own policies, meaning every branch of Hungry Lion, despite the country, despite the town or city, they have a certain policy that is followed, right? So meaning, even if there's a branch manager in that particular branch, he has no authority to change or put up his own policies because it's standard. Like every Hungry Lion, for example, has to follow the same policy. Okay, let us look at the mail order business. So mail order business is shopping by post. Okay, so the customer does not visit the shop to look for goods to buy. He or she simply prepares an order from home and sends it to the mail order company. Then the goods are later sent in a parcel to him or her through the post office. Okay, so we've had so many instances where people order and then the goods are sent via post office, right? Okay, so this is the type of business they use in a mail order business. Okay, so let's just talk about hypermarkets. Okay, so hypermarkets are the retail shops with a large selling space that are located on the outskirts of town close to main roads. They sell goods at cheaper prices. They offer a wide range of goods. Okay, so when we're talking about this particular type of retail, so these ones also, they sell food products, they also sell non-food products. So they're okay. When I talk about a hypermarket, I could simply say they're a combination of a supermarket and a department store. Okay, so that's where I can place it. Okay, so when you talk about these hypermarkets, they provide services like maybe banking services, pharmacy, and restaurants as well, and so on and so forth. Okay, so apart from these types of large-scale retailers, let me also explain the department store. So when you're talking about a department store is a retail shop with many departments organized under one roof and under one management. Okay, so when you're talking about this department, it's often part of a shopping mall. Mostly it's found in shopping centers or shopping malls. So they offer additional services like restaurants, some have salons, bill payment stores. So I'll give an example of Budget Stores Limited. Okay, all right, so the other one that I'll explain is cooperative retail society. So when we're talking about cooperative retail societies, these are business that run and are owned by customers who wish to provide themselves with good quality products at reasonable prices. Okay, so the other one that I'll talk about is variety chain store. When we're talking about a variety chain store, so these are retail shops that sell a wide variety of goods with several branches in a town or scattered all over the country under a single ownership, usually by limited companies. Okay, so most of these run the same duties. Most of these large retail scale run a lot similar duties. Okay, so thank you for watching my video. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel for more sessions.